I'm going to record. Hello, everyone. My name is Franklin. Today, we're going to be talking about market structure and charting. Market structure and charting. This is, one of the ways I've found out, an easy way to take high probability setups. Okay. Understanding market structure is crucial for technical analysis when it comes to foreign exchange or whatever, chart you're looking at. When it comes to analyzing the foreign exchange market, commodities, stocks, indices, whatever it is, market structure is super, super important, okay? You want to be able to know what the market structure is before you can even take any trade, okay? That would guide you on getting the right direction, the right directional bias on, whatever pair you're looking at or chart you're looking at or, trade you're looking at, okay? So, if you notice my checklist on here, this is usually what I look at before I get into the market, right? As you can see, I'm a technical analysis trader, not a fundamental analysis trader. So I don't necessarily look at what news has to say for the day. But, just starting the day, since this is a team call, I'm going to start by looking at what Forex Factory has for the week, especially since we didn't have, I should zoom in. I can't zoom in. If you're on your phone, you can zoom in. You can zoom into my screen. I don't know about me zooming into my screen. I'm not sure I can do that. Well, I can, but it's just magnified words are just weird in my eyes. I don't know. Can others see the my chart clearly? Like, do you guys need me to zoom in or am I good? Am I good? Do other people need me to zoom into? I'm good? Okay, perfect, okay. Perfect. Yeah, so Ayo Tomiwa, maybe try to zoom in on your phone yourself. I'm pretty sure you can zoom in by yourself. But yeah, this is the news we have for the week. Monday we have GBP, nothing on Tuesday. Wednesday we have GBP and USD news. Thursday, not much. Friday we have CAD and USD news, okay? So let's go back to the charts. So like I said, we're going to be going step by step. What I look at, what does Franklin look at once he comes to the chart? Like, if someone sends me a markup or someone wants me to talk about something, this is, basically what goes through my head once I open a chart, right? The first thing I look at is the trend. And this comes with market structure, right? Market structure basically is, telling you what the trend of the market is. And, there's three types of, trends that, you can see in the market. The first being an uptrend. So this is basically the market trending upwards, okay? And this is one thing, I always tell people, when it comes to market structure, it's so straightforward, but at the same time, people, seem to forget it a lot, okay? And we're gonna dive deep into that today. All right. We run market structure a lot because of how important it is. It is so important to taking high probability setups that we always have to touch on it so it can actually stick. All right. So this is, I'll make this 16 or 14. This is an uptrend, okay? I'll make it 20 maybe, just so you guys can see better. Okay, this is an uptrend, okay? This is consolidation. All right, and this is a downtrend right here. Right, this is a downtrend. So it's just like, I don't know how many of you did geometry in school or did technical drawing or whatever, right? When it comes to the market, once you come into the market, you have to start from the basics, right? If you're trying to look for a trade, if you're trying to get into the market or whatever, you need to know the basics. What are the basics? The trend. What trend are we in? If you're in an uptrend, you should only be looking for buys or have an idea that we're in the uptrend and just not have too much of an expectation of sells when you're in a sell, being aware that, when you're trying to sell in that uptrend, it's only a retracement and it's going to be short term. These are things you have to be paying attention to. So for the new people on the call, I'm going to go slow, okay? In an uptrend, we are looking for buys, okay? In an uptrend, we are only looking for buys. I should go really slow. Okay. Yeah, I'll try. Okay, 1 second. Look for buys. Uptrend, look for buying opportunity. Look for buying opportunities in an uptrend. Consolidation, I would say stay out of, I know it's probably as obviously stay out of the market, okay? It's obviously as stay out of the market, okay? In a downtrend, look for sales, okay? And, you have to be intentional about these things. You have to plan out your trades. You have to make sure, you're very intentional when you're taking trades. You have to understand this is your money on the line. If you're trading on demo, then that is different. You can test out different, I don't know, strategies or whatever. You can try to develop your strategy, okay? But once you're on your live account, you're going to be putting capital on the line. You're going to be putting your money on the line. You have to treat it like a business. You have to be, strategic. You have to basically follow these rules. All right. So in an uptrend, you're looking for buys. In a consolidation, there's really no point, trading because the market is not even moving, right? And this happens, at the wrong times of the day. And we're going to dive into that a little once I start, talking about actual charting. Okay. So this is basically market structure. All right. Uptrend, consolidation, downtrend. Uptrend, consolidation, downtrend. And one thing you have to understand is in the real market, in the actual market, there's not going to be a perfect zigzag motion. Okay. There's going to be, it could go like this. You could do something like this. Go up, down, consolidate a little before it goes up, come down a little, go up, consolidate, maybe break that structure, but continue higher. The markets, the real market could go like this, not, a perfect zigzag in this way. So the important thing, okay, the important thing you have to pay attention to is when lows and highs are being created. Lows and highs, lows and highs, lows and highs. Same thing in the downtrend. You want to know where the highs and lows are, okay? Because that would guide you when it comes to your trading range, okay? That will guide you when it comes to your trading range. You need to be able to identify your trading range to be able to plan out setups, okay? So for example, let's say you're in this uptrend, okay? When the market starts, when the market starts retracing, you have to understand that This is now your current trading range. Between here and here. Okay. In this moment, and you know, we are always going to be trading, at a certain time of the day, right? That is going to be right for our pair. So let's say, for example, this is Euro USD, okay? We're going to be trading this in London session or New York session, right? The first 2 hours of London, or like the first 2 hours of New York, that is when we're looking for entries. So let's say, you have this right now. It could be Euro USD, whatever pair it is, okay? You have to identify what trend you're in, and you have to identify your trading range, okay? Those are the first things you have to do. My checklist, the number one is identifying the trend. So let's say right now you have your, your trading range. Okay, you have your trading range. What that means is right now when Euro USD, this is, New York session on Monday, for example, we are only paying attention to this area right here. We don't care about all of this price action. We only care about here and here. Can anyone tell me why we only care about this area and why this is the trading range? In the chat, please. Can anyone tell me why this is the trading range between here and here? Last high and the last low. That is correct. Okay, that is correct because that's the last high and that is the last low. Last high, last low is the answer, okay. That is why we are paying attention to this range, because if we are going to continue this uptrend, we know for sure this last low is at least going to be maintained, okay? We know for sure it's at least going to be maintained. All right, so having that at the back of your mind, now you're going to know that we're going to be looking for, the next buying opportunity within this range. What's your question, bro? What's your question? If it breaks the last low, it changes to a downtrend. That is what we call a break of structure. And yes, like 8 out of 10 times, it is most likely going to start, changing the trend to a downtrend. But for that downtrend to be confirmed, you need at least, this to happen. You want price to go back and, create a lower high, then continue lower. Then this downtrend is fully confirmed at this point. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. Yes. So one thing I want you guys to understand, why did I say you're looking for an entry between here and here? Because there's 2 things involved, right? Like you're either going to, you could trade like a break and retest. Like this works a lot for like, all those indices pairs like SPX, US30, all of that, when it comes to this session of the day, like in the morning at 10 a.m. or whatever, right? For those pairs, break and retest works a lot for them. Okay, so what that basically means is, why am I looking at this whole range? This was the previous high. Okay, so a lot of times, if you've ever heard anyone saying break and retest, okay, so, or if you've ever heard someone say area of structure, what they basically, and this helps you a lot when it comes to taking swipe coin trades too, okay? Because you're going to hear them say stuff like break and close or break and retest, you know, break, close, and retest. All those terms basically tell you structure. So let's say price was somewhere here. Okay, I'm gonna draw a little circle. Let's say price was somewhere here. Okay. Let's say price was somewhere here. And you get a notification from, you know, I am educator, Trade House I am educator, Sheung Oguntose, okay? And it tells you we are waiting for BTC and Ethereum break and close of structure to look for entry. If price is right here, we are in an uptrend and price is right here. What that basically says is that they are waiting for price to break above the previous structure. This is structure right here. Why? For retail trading patterns, you guys will know this as what? What is this line here for a retail trading pattern? What would you guys know this as? And why is this structure? Resistance, that is correct. No, that is not support, Marcel. That is resistance. Remember, price is here heading to this area of structure. So that is resistance, Marcel, not support. Does that make sense? Do you understand why this is resistance, not support? Okay, perfect. All right, so if you hear those swipe coin educators say, wait for the break and close, all right? So what a break and close means, because sometimes price might break above that structure, but still end up closing below it with a wick. Drop a 555 in the chat if you guys have ever seen that. Sometimes price will break that structure, but close below it with a wick. So is this a break and close, guys? If Sherwin tells you to wait for a break and close of price above structure, would this be confirmed? Would this be a break and close? Drop a 2 in the chat if you think this is a break and close. Drop a 3 if you don't think it's a break and close. Drop a 2 if you think this is a break and close of structure. Drop a 3 if you don't think it's a break and close of structure. So 2 means you guys think this is a break and close of structure, right? Perfect. Okay. Yeah, you're perfectly wrong. It's not a break and close of structure. So guys, when you hear a break and close of structure, break and close above structure, this is what it means. You want price to break above that structure and close above it. You don't want a rejection. A rejection is a sign that it might continue going lower. So the answer was 3. That was not a break and close of structure. Does that make sense, guys? Drop a 7 if you understand. Drop a 9 if you want me to repeat. Okay. So the question I asked was, Shemu Oguntosin, sends out a trade alert. And when he sent that out, price was in this red circle right here. Okay. And he said, family, for us to confirm buys on BTC and Ethereum, we need a break and close of structure. If price broke that structure it was talking about, but closed below the structure with a wick, that is not a break and close of structure. That is a break and rejection of structure. It broke the structure, but rejected it. When he says break and close of structure, he means he wants price to break above and close above structure. Does that make sense? I'm emphasizing this because I know when I started newly, I struggled with this concept a lot. When they say things like break and close, break of structure, all that stuff, I didn't really understand it. Hope this makes sense, that this is a break and close of structure. We need price to close above. We need price to close above. So now, this is break and close of structure, okay? There's one more concept that people talk about called the retest, okay? So break and retest looks exactly like this. This is what a retest, this is what you want to see from a retest. This would be a red candle, okay? Okay, this would be a red candle, and you want to see this. You want to see the opposite of what I showed you in the first call, okay? You want to see this. Will you be able to show this in the chat? Yeah, I'll show you in the chat for sure. This is a break and retest. This one right here is a break and close. This is the retest, okay? So I'm just going to try and explain this to you guys in like layman terms, okay? Playing a break of structure and retest, you know, if you're trading gold corp, you're trading, you know, indices or whatever, this works a lot. And I'm going to show you a perfect example that happened on FRX Live on Friday. I'll show you a perfect example on FRX Live that happened on Friday. Okay, so this is previous structure. Price broke above structure, came back to retest, and you know it's going higher. So we had that solid close above. Price came back to retest that level and it closed above. So this is confirmation that will most likely continue higher. Okay, if this candle closed below instead, that would have been tricky. I would want another candle to come and close above before I decide to enter. Okay, because the fact that price closed below this structure is a sign that it might continue going lower. So I'll wait for another candle to come up, all right? Hopefully bullish engulf this, then we can enter on this last candle and go higher. So this is a perfect example of a break and retest. A break and retest. I'll come out, so this is KJPY FXCM. Let me show you guys a live example on the chart so you guys see what I'm talking about. This was SPX on Friday, okay? This was SPX on Friday. I'm gonna go to the 15 minutes time frame. Okay, guys. So if you notice this, guys. This was a perfect example here. So we got into a trade down here, all right? But look at this. On the way down, when price was coming down, remember I told you guys when it comes to the actual charts, some things might be, so I'm going to hide everything on here, okay? So if you notice, okay, price was trading lower here. So This is a high. This is a previous high. You guys understand, everyone on the call can understand that. Okay, let me just do a replay. Okay, let me do a replay to here. Let me hide everything. So based on market structure, you guys can see this was a downtrend, right? Let me just delete everything. It's okay. I'll get that markup back later. And I like hoarding my markups, but it's fine. Okay, this is market structure right here. Okay, so is this even structure? No, I don't think that's, no. So 1, 2, it closed into this, high, low, that is high. Wait, I'm just trying to validate structure, sorry guys. Down, 3 candles, and the retracement closed above, took more than 1 candle. Okay, this was a low. Okay, 3 candles, it's just, nah. So this is not a lower high here, so I'll clean this up like this. Okay. Yes, okay. So right now, this is a high, a low. Remember I told you guys on the real chart, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be a perfect zigzag. So this was a downtrend. This is a high, this is a low. This is a high, a low, a high, a low. That is not even a high, to be honest. This is not a high here. So I'm going to do this. Okay. So a high, a low, a high, a low, a high, then this is a low. Okay. So the fact that this was the last previous high, you guys will be able to tell that this is an area of structure right here. Okay. This is an area of structure right here. Okay. So on that call on FRX Live on Friday, Sadiq called a buy down here. Sadiq called a buy down here for SPX, okay? And this buy started running up, okay? All right, the buy started running up. So I want you guys to see something here. The buy started running up. So as you guys can see, after we broke this area of structure, so let's say down here, you missed this buy down here, okay? And price started to rally. You're going to wait for price to break above this structure. Like I said on that call, let's say price was down here, okay? Let's say price was down here, okay? And I said, wait for the break and close of structure and enter on the retest. Wait for the break and close of structure and enter on the retest. Typically, this is that structure you're waiting for. So price now has broken above that structure. Now we are waiting for the retest. So what is retest? We are waiting for price to come back to that area of structure, and we want to enter for buys. Okay, so what happened? And this happened on FRX Live too. So guys, as you can see this, price came into that structure and this was that retest right here. And came again one more time, area of structure. You can see it keeps stopping here. This is that retest we're looking for, okay? And then went crazy. You guys see that, right? To where price is right now. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand a break and retest now? This is the zone. I'm going to extend the zone. This is the zone right here. You guys see that, right? Break and close of structure, retests, price goes higher. Okay, yeah, NAS will probably have around the same thing, yeah. Yeah, NAS wasn't as clean as SPX, but let me see US30. Yeah, US30 was actually nasty yesterday, but same thing. Same concept goes. Yesterday actually created equal highs there. That's funny. But yeah, SPX was the perfect example of that break and retest. Okay. So that's one of the ways you can actually what the hell? I thought I had, okay. Yeah, this is where I had it. Okay. So that is one way of entering the market, okay? And that is the way, like I said, retail traders, market structure, all these guys, that's how they trade, right? Another way of, another way of getting a trade idea would be, and remember, like, these things match up with price and time and stuff like that, right? So you're going to look at price action, you're going to see what is happening, right? So let's say price is at this retest level right at 10 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time. That's New York session. You're trading Euro USD. Do you guys know why that is, that why price is most likely going to reject from here compared to if price was sitting here at, maybe 7:38 a.m. Sorry, not 7:38. So I was giving at 10 a.m., right? So right at 10 a.m. price is right here compared to at, I don't know, 9:38 a.m. If price is sitting here at 9:38 a.m., so two scenarios, price is sitting here at 9:38 a.m. or price is sitting here at 10 a.m. Which of those times are you most likely going to enter a buy? 10 a.m. or 9:38 a.m. and why? 10 a.m. or 9:38 a.m. and why? It doesn't matter, bro. Doesn't matter what currency. Would you rather enter at 9:38 a.m. or 10 a.m. if you see price at this same level? So my question is, let's say you're trading, you want to trade right now, okay? And this is an area of structure for you, okay? And the scenario is that price is right at this level at 9:38 a.m. or price is right at this candle at 10 a.m. Which of those trades is higher probability that you're going to get most likely zero drawdown and to just continue higher? Between 9:38 a.m. and 10 a.m. Akim is correct, 10 a.m. And why? Why is it 10 a.m., guys? It's not that you shouldn't enter a trade. It's just like, I was saying high probability, right? Which one is more probable? Like, in this, when we trade, it's a game of probability. So you want to take high probability setups. You want to take setups that are most likely going to hit your TP, So if you're entering a trade at 10 a.m., you know for sure you're entering when the 1 hour candle has closed. You're entering when the 1 hour candle has closed. The 30 minutes or 1 hour candle closure is very crucial because, you know, most times it's going to lead to a candle reversal or a continuation. So it's just a perfect, you know, it's a perfect indicator for, you know, confluence in the market. So you have an area of structure, and right at 10 a.m., price is closing at that structure. There's a high chance that once that next, you know, from, you know, price went from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., right? Once that 9 a.m. candle closes and we have a 10 a.m. open, so this is what I'm talking about. The 1 hour candle for whatever pair you're trading in New York session just closed right here. The 9 a.m. candle just closed right here. Okay. Let's say it did this, for example. Let me make it red. Let's say you're trading whatever pair, and at 9 a.m., you see this. So price had come deep into the zone, but, you know, it closed right at the structure. Family, 8 to 9 times out of 10, what we're going to have next is a bullish candle with no drawdown. If you're actually able to follow this, maybe it will have a little wick below, but this is what we'll be expecting. Maybe this has a little wick above. So the difference between 10 a.m. and 9:38 a.m. is, let's say at 9:38 a.m. when price was here, you don't know if the candle is still going to end up, you know, trying to dig deep into this area and still, like, you know, close at that area. You want to wait for the close so the candle can finish telling its story. Every candle tells a story. The end of the candle is going to tell a story. It's going to tell you what the market has decided to do. If you're looking at the 1 hour time frame, you're looking at that candle and it's like 9:38 or 9:40 or 9:42 or 9:16 or 9:17 or any random number between that hour candle, you're not still sure how that hour candle is going to close. Does that make sense? The best way of being sure is to wait for the candle to close. Because let's say when price was going into here, I don't know if price is going to end up, if the candle is going to end up closing below that structure. If the candle ends up closing below that structure, then I'm not even looking for that buy till we break back above the structure. Because I think since it closed below, we are most likely going to go lower for better discounted price. So it's always important to wait for the close of the candle. Very, very important. When we say time and price, that is what we mean by time and price. So in this situation, time and price would play out in the sense that the time is the hour, the close of the hour, so 10 a.m., and the price is, you know, the previous structure, the previous resistance. Does that make sense? Are you guys following me? Drop a 2 if you're following me. Drop a 3 if you're lost. Drop a 2 if you're following me and drop a 3 if you're lost. Okay, people are following me. People are following me. So everyone is following me, right? You all are following me? All right, perfect, perfect. So I'm guessing everyone got that. Everyone got that. If you didn't get that and you're shy to drop a 3, please message me, send me a private message on the Zoom and I explain, okay? If you need me to follow, if you need me to explain more, just message me privately on the Zoom and I'll explain. Okay. Send me a private message. But yeah, that is a break and close of structure. This is what you're looking for. And you're going to add price and time to that. Okay. So like I said, let's say price closed below that structure, right? So now you're going to be looking for discounted price. So if this area, for example, fails to be that area for the reversal, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to draw my fib, all right? So, and the fib will be between the, trading range. Like I said, this is us marking up charts. This is charting. So I'm just going to show you exactly how I do that, okay? So in this situation, you want to draw it from the left to the right, from the low to the high. So like this. All right. And you're going to be looking to get in anywhere in this box. And remember, price and time again. Price and time again. Same thing. You're going to wait for that next candle and you're going to see what the next candle is going to print. So that next candle, let's say it drops lower into these areas and it goes all the way and taps 886. Now I'm going to lie, 886 is going to be like that last line of defense where, I can say, okay, you're allowed to, take a position here. Let's say that candle is big and comes all the way down to 886 fib. For me, that is my last area for this uptrend to, hold. I'm most likely going to, this is a situation where I would enter in the middle of the candle before the hour even closes, right? Because I have a good area to enter at. Drop a 7 if that makes sense. So if that next candle goes all the way to 886, I will most likely take a market execution trade there if I believe this uptrend is going to hold and we are still in the right session. Does that make sense? Drop a 7 in the chat. If you want me to go over that again, drop a 2. If that does not make sense. Okay, lots of 2s. Okay. So remember, I said the previous candle before this, let's say it did not reject. That candle was solid and closed below structure. Now I'm going to be looking for more discounted price. I'm going to be looking for more discounted price. So I'm going to draw my fib from the left to the right, okay? I'm going to wait for price to come into my sweet spot, which is going to be between, probably 618.71, 786, something inside here, right? Okay. And I'm going to look for buys at either of these levels based on price and time. If at the next hour, maybe 11 o'clock or whatever, price closes at 786, for example, with a wick, just the same thing I showed you guys up here, but on these levels, maybe a wick and a rejection, that's a sign for me to buy from one of these levels. But let's say within the same hour candle, price goes all the way to the 886. I would like to market execute at the 886 because that just gives me the smallest risk for the highest reward within this trading range. You guys understand how the 886 fib is going to give you the smallest reward and the highest, the smallest risk and the highest reward within the range. Does that make sense? Does that statement make sense to you guys? Drop a 10 if that statement makes sense to you guys. Okay. Yeah. So that is why I'll most likely take that as a market execution. But let's go on the chart. Like, you can even do it right here on CAT JPY. Can do it right here on card JPY. So we're going to do body to body on the fib. There are different ways of drawing fibs. We're going to do body to body. So right here, you guys can see, okay. Overall, if you look at the higher time frame, like, based on, let me just ignore everything. Let's do this. Let's do replay. I'm gonna cancel this. Let's do replay mode and okay, let's do this. Okay, 24th September, this was Friday, okay? This was Friday morning. Okay, this was Friday morning. If you look at the higher time frame or whatever, you will know this is your trading range. Between here, this was the last significant low, okay? And this is the last high. All right, this is your trading range. Okay. There are two ways to draw the fib. You're either going to draw it, from the wick, okay, or you're going to draw it body to body. What I mean by body to body, you're going to ignore the wick. You're going to draw from the body of the candle to the body of the top of the candle. Like this. This is the body. And this is the body up here, okay? So now, remember I told you guys we're going to be looking at the sweet spot. So what's the sweet spot? The sweet spot is between, really from 618, but I'll just say typically between 71 and 886 inside here, okay? So I'm gonna fill up the box and make it green. So this is the sweet spot, okay? Between the 71 and 886 fib. All right. So guys, this is what goes through my head when I'm trading. All right. So what is the time? This is CAD JPY. The time here, you guys can see can you guys see my time on the screen? If you can see my time and date, can you type that out in the chat so I understand that you guys can see it? Can you guys see the time on my chart? What is the time? Okay. 4:15, and understand that this is not a 24-hour clock. So is that 4:15 a.m. or 4:15 p.m.? Actually, my bad, this is a 24-hour clock. So is this 4:15 p.m. or 4:15 a.m.? TradingView always has 24-hour clocks. Okay, that is AM, perfect. Because a lot of people have issues with 24-hour clocks. So, and guys, there's something I notice with a lot of people, okay? And it just lets me know that, when they are back testing or they are studying or they are marking up their charts, they're going, they're doing it the wrong way. So there are many things. I'm very observant when you send me a markup, right? If you send me a markup and I see the time zone on your chart is wrong, then you don't know what you're doing. Why am I saying that? If you're back testing, if you're studying the market, you need to take note of what the time of the day when these things are happening is. Okay, so you're never going to catch me with the wrong time zone. My time says 12:21 p.m. TradingView should also say 12:21 p.m. If I'm in Edmonton, Canada, and my time is Los Angeles, California, then I don't know what I'm doing. Your time has to match, your time on TradingView has to match your own time zone. It's going to help you when you're trading. It's going to really help you. So why am I bringing time into this? This is 4:15 a.m. And this is CAD JPY, okay? Personally, guys, I'm in in what's it called? My time zone is mountain time, so I'm 2 hours behind New York time or Eastern time. Okay, so from what you guys understand in Forex, you guys know when New York session opens. So this my sweet spot here, the 71, 786, and 886. What time, in my own time zone, should I be looking for an entry within this box? What time should I be looking for an entry? Having in mind the time that New York session opens, and this is 4:15 a.m. for me, I'm 2 hours behind Eastern time. So 4:15 a.m. for me is 6:15 a.m. in Eastern time. So what time is 4:15 a.m.? What time should give me 3 times that I should be looking for this entry. So what time should I be looking at for an entry in this box? What 3-hour times should I be looking for entry? 7 a.m. is good. Yes, 7 a.m. is good. But I would look at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and 8 a.m. Those are 3 different times I want to look for, depending on when I'm awake. If I'm awake before 6 a.m., then I'm starting to look for entry around 6 a.m. Okay. So let's do that. Let's see what happens then. So this is the 4:30 candle, 4:45 candle, 5 a.m. candle, 5:15, 5:30, 5:45, 6 a.m. candle. This would have been, a lot of people could enter here, but their stop loss will just be bigger, because if I'm going to enter any of these 3 fib levels, 618, 71, or 786, for me to be safe, I need a stop loss at least below the 886. Okay, so if someone was going to enter at the 618 fib here, which is not bad because it's 6 a.m. This is the opening of New York session. So this is not a bad entry. Your stop loss will be just below the 886 fib, and your target will be at the last high. So that's a 1 to 2, which is not horrible. Okay, so let's keep going. This happened the next 15 minutes. Then, as you guys can see, this is the perfect entry. Can anyone tell me why this would be a perfect entry? Can anyone tell me why this is a perfect entry here? Not just that, I want someone that is good with smart money to tell me what happened here. Is there something you guys see before this candle printed? A lot of you on this call might not understand it because you've not really studied smart money. Not institutional candle, no. Support level, yes, ish. But guys, yes. So look at this. If you notice, when price came to this 618 and New York session, you guys know where the money resides. I love that. So look at this, guys. Just before this candle dropped, when CAD JPY came to this 618 fib and this bullish candle occurred, what happened? Remember, smart money or the banks would always give you, false hope. So if you notice right here, there was equal lows right here. And what did they do? They sold and took out the equal lows. When you see something like this, so let's say I took this first entry and my stop loss was down here. You see, this was a 1 to 2 trade. Sorry, this was a 1 to 2 trade. As soon as I saw this happen, family, I'm looking for the first sign of bullishness. Next candle is still playing around here. Ah, that was a mistake. Wow, 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 wow. I messed that up. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Let's do this again. So remember, equal lows here. This was just such a beautiful play. Equal lows here, okay? Equal lows. So what's perfect? The perfect thing is for price to come down here, okay? So what are we looking for? We're looking for the next hour. We're looking for the next hour. We're looking for what? We're looking for 7 o'clock. 6 o'clock has already fashed, okay? 6 o'clock came here, kept equal lows and dropped. This is 6:45. Stay with me, family. This is 6:45. What are you waiting for? We want to see what will happen at 7 o'clock. Family, this is the money right here. As soon as you saw this at 7 o'clock, actually, if you go to the smaller time frame, you would probably see a fire entry at 7 o'clock. Let's go there on the 1 minute. Where is 7 o'clock? 7 o'clock was right here. At 7 o'clock, we had one more drop down, okay? As soon as we came back above this 1 hour candle. So remember, the first trade I gave you was a, what's it called? 618 fib trade. But once you see this happening at the 7 o'clock, this is where you get an entry with even a smaller stop loss. So at this situation here, around 7 o'clock, you're going to take a trade right at that 786 fib. I'm going to go back to the 15 minutes to show you guys what I'm talking about, okay? SL just below here. SL could be like 3 pips or whatever, okay? So now let's go back to the 15 minutes time frame. The trade you took on the 6 o'clock candle that you were not sure of what will happen would give you a 1 to 2, but as a smart money trader, understanding how the market works, understanding that this was manipulation by the banks to capture this liquidity here before they eventually buy. We know the market is going to buy, but we're looking for nice entries, right? So right here, if you take this trade here, the risk to reward now is 1 to 13. Same trade, just a smaller time frame entry, right? So this is what we talk about price and time. Someone, right? Even, okay, let's say, you know, you're someone that obviously did not notice this 1 minute trade. It's not always easy to catch. So let's say you're someone that didn't notice that. What is your plan of action? You can take this morning star pattern here. Perfect. Morning star pattern. And once this candle, 15 minutes candle closes, you're taking a buy. Stop loss just below the lows. Okay. And what happened next? Price is gone. That boy gone. You know, like it's just gone. Like it's not coming back. This New York session, so they're smacking TP quick. I think TP is going to smack fast, you know. You smack TP here. You guys see that? So this is how you trade these patterns. This is how you trade this. Yep, exactly just like that. That's how Chisom gets her 3 pips entry SL. Just like that, family. Does this explanation make sense to you? Why time and price is important? You see how waiting for 7 o'clock would have given you a fire entry right here. Does that make sense, family? Does that make sense? Drop of 555, if that makes sense. Makes sense, guys? Okay. Only 1.5. Can other people drop 5s, or can you run it back real quick? Okay. What part of it? Like understanding the time of the day or what? Just on the entry, okay. So remember, I talked about the sweet spot for the fib, right? I'm looking between the 71 and 886 fib, okay? So, and we're in an uptrend, we're looking for buys, okay? So, the fact that we came into the 71 fib and we were rejecting leading up to 7 o'clock just told me that, right when that 7 o'clock candle opens, we can look for buys because we've been rejecting. Okay, I will be anticipating the first at least 5 to 15 minutes on the 7 o'clock candle to, buy up, to like go crazy, basically, right? But there are different ways of taking this. You can be an experienced trader and just market execute right at 7 o'clock, okay? Or you can wait for this first 15 minutes candle to close on 7 o'clock. For more confirmation, you can wait for the first 15 minutes candle to close. But if you're going to the smaller time frames, you see that this thing will start showing you different signs that it wants to go crazy from the smaller time frame. You already see that. Like the smaller time frame is just almost like it just gives, it gives things away really quick. So I want to show you guys this, right? If you notice here, on the 2 minutes time frame, what happened? This was the 7 o'clock candle, right? The 7 o'clock candle dropped one more time and did what? Took out liquidity one last time. The 7 o'clock candle, this is when 7 o'clock opened, spiked down and took out liquidity, right? But what happened right on the next 2 minutes candle? We had a bullish engulfing candle. Bullish engulfing candle. Once we had this bullish engulfing, entry could be right here at the opening of the candle that was engulfed, stop loss just below the lows. Sometimes I'm looking for candles to the left that will support my bias or whatever. But in general, I'm just looking at price and time. Price is the fib levels. Time is the hour or the 30 minutes. Okay? If that makes sense. Does that make sense, bro? Yeah. Cisco, does that make sense? Time and price, yes. Time and price is so important. A lot of people overlook time and price, and you can make so much money just focusing on those two. Actually, you know what? Let me just give you guys a little explanation of what I even mean by time and price. You guys remember, everyone here went to high school. You guys, I don't know if I'm not sure about business. Different countries have different curriculums, but I know at some point in your school system, everyone on here dealt with graphs. Yes or no? Have you guys ever dealt with graphs in secondary school, high school, middle school, elementary school, or whatever? Drop of 5 if you guys looked at graphs. Everyone did graphs, right? Let me show you guys something. In Forex, when we are trading, right? When we are trading, what is the X and Y axis? The X axis is time, the Y axis is price. Time and price is all we are doing in Forex. Time and price. Time and price. The X-axis is time, the Y-axis is price. Does that make sense? It's time and price, family. It's all time and price. X-axis is time, Y-axis is price. That is literally it. So you cannot ignore time and price at all. So a lot of you probably like, thought that was BS when they were teaching you like, oh, what am I going to use X and Y? When people see letters like, in math or whatever in class, like they just freak out. But like, this is literally it. Like X is just going to, signify, is going to be a symbol for whatever is on your X axis. And in the foreign exchange market, in the financial market, our X axis is always time and our Y axis is always price. So if you're looking for a trade idea, if you're looking for an area where the market is going to, if you're plotting a graph, then they give you the x-axis, they give you the x-axis, they give you the y-axis. You have your equation of a line, mx, whatever, y equals to mx plus c, and all of that stuff. That's literally what all of this is. Is that basic knowledge you had that you're just translating into making money in the chart. Relax, Akim. Relax, bro. But yeah, this is literally this is time and price. That's just what it is. It's nothing more than that. So same thing, like I said right here, bullish engulfing candle, price comes back to retest and it takes off, like it's gone, price is gone. If you even look at to the area price actually went to, you will notice like if you were holding this, like, to this high, you probably hold it to like at least this quarter point up here, right? Which is priced to 87.50, right? That is 1 to 14. You're making 14 times whatever you were risking. Okay, so imagine, and this is what I always tell people, right? Like, you have to understand what you're risking on a trade and what you're potentially going to get. So let's say, for example, you're trading your funding talent account or whatever, right? You're trying to win the challenge. You need 15, what's it? I think 2,500 to pass the 25K account, I think, or something like that. Okay. You need 2,500, for example, okay? And you're risking $100 on this trade. You're risking $100 on this trade. A lot of people say, oh, you can't really make money on currency pairs or whatever. But like on this particular trade, you're risking $100. If this trade goes from 86.87 to 87.50 with your stop loss and your risk management like this, you've made $1,400 in one trade. Or 1483 because it's 14.83 risk to reward. So if you understand the market, you can actually make bank with whatever you're trading. You just need to position yourself to take higher risk to reward trades and use the same risk on all trades. So that is exactly what I was explaining here, but on the chart. Okay, that is exactly what I was explaining here, but on the chart. All right, I'm actually going to stop the recording here because it's been really long already. But yeah, I'll stop the recording here. And for those watching the recording, if you need any, assistance, if you need my help, if you need me to answer any questions, you can hit me up on IG. Okay, this is my IG. Just hit me up on IG if I got our own one. Okay. Yeah. Stop the recording right there. Thank you all for watching.